welcome back to Questions for Carol, where we dive deep into the questions our HR community had been asking. Hey, Carol, how does HR partner with different departments in an organization?
Wow, that's a big one. So let's talk about other departments like HR. So like things like finance or IT or marketing. I think sometimes the opportunity to partner with those guys is maybe a little clearer. But let's talk about kind of where we got some synergies.
Cool. Okay. So
Okay.
let's start with finance.
Finance.
Um, mm-hmm. So how
Okay.
do HR and finance collaborate?
Well, so HR and finance really should be a tight-knit group. You're two of the departments who kind of knows where everything is. The HR people know what's happening with employees. You have to work one-on-one with finance to get your budget for hiring people. You need to make sure that if there's going to have an impact on the organization like a layoff, you're going to work hand in hand with finance. Finance has been at the table from the get, right? And HR's partnership with them really could be stronger and should be stronger because they have kind of like the answer book to the questions that you're going to be asked as an HR person. CEOs and leaders of organizations are all about ROI, return on investment. And so the partnership between HR and finance is really critical in showing how to get an ROI on employees and on HR initiatives. The building of a budget with your finance people really needs to be about where do we want to go as an organization with our people? What is our investment level? Do we want to start to survey our employees around engagement so that if we're at point A today and we want to be at point D in 2 years, we need to do a temperature test today. And then we need to figure out whatever that report comes back with. What are we going to do to invest in initiatives to move us down to where we want to be? And finance, in building the budget and understanding each month where we are to forecast of that budget, really helps us to maintain priorities. Many of us are in organizations where you got your budget at the beginning of the year, you put pie in the sky, and then after Q1, somebody comes back to you and goes, I can't afford to have you do that program. Or is there another way you can do that without that much cost? And that has a lot to do with things that we can't control. Same thing with finance, right? And what we need to do is partner with our finance people to understand, okay, what's happening and how not only does this impact the financial side of my initiatives, but what's happening with my employees because of this? So the one thing that I always try to educate HR people on is it's all connected. It's all connected. So if you are working with your finance people and you're understanding the financials of the organization, how those financials are impacting people initiatives, and how those can shift from month to month, quarter to quarter, it's not enough to just go, okay, I'll push it off to the next quarter, or okay, I'll push it off to next year. You got to stop. And if you're interested in making sure that HR is at the table and that we're focused on things that the business needs, if there's been something that's happened in a quarter that has shifted priorities, and you're a people organization where you get all of your business because your people have the intellect, the intellectual property to make your business run, you need to start asking some strategic questions. Okay, I totally get it. We didn't hit what we needed to in Q1. Let's talk about how that impacts the rest of the year. But more importantly, let's talk about what's going on with our people because of this. And that's where sometimes we're a good partner for finance, because finance just sees numbers and they're hitting a target. I need you to have an EBITDA of X. I need you to have a revenue line of A. And sometimes they forget to ask the questions, how does this impact the employees? Or if we didn't hit it, what can we do to ask the questions to figure out how do we get our employees to do whatever is necessary to hit the goals? Do we have disengaged employees? And that's why our productivity went down, and that's why our revenue went down. Do we have pockets and not enough talent to do what we need to? So we're leaving money on the table, in which case, what do we need to do in talent acquisition? Did we get a new client and we don't have anybody watching the store, so to speak? So we don't have a leader for that new client, and people are getting stretched really thin, and we're not servicing the client as we should so that we can get more business from that client. Those are things that the HR people need to go to the table with your finance person and say, get it, understand, I see the black and white numbers, but let's dig a little deeper. Hopefully that little bit helped you and maybe got your little wheels turning, for the person who brought that question to me, to think about how you can start to elevate yourself more as a strategic partner and not just, what they tell you to do because of some sort of problems in finance.